And starting to the bottom left of the map, in red we have the StarTale player. Here's
StarTale, Pet.
StarTale Pet currently in Heart of the Swarm with 4 map wins against Terran and 4 losses. And he's up. Oh, we have a game pause.
I heard that.
I heard that too.
So because I can't see anything except Pet's face right now, I can't tell you why.
Yeah, Pet rocking that Zoe keyboard that he uses. All the StarTale players use, and I think it's probably... Oh, there's Karam running to the booth.
Yep.
He's so handsome. Apparently, MMA asked for a pause, and not quite sure what's happening. If he actually paused the game, then it looks like his keys are still working, that it might be a sound issue that happens every now and then.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a hotkey issue, or I'm going to have to chastise him later and tell him, like, listen, man, why are you not getting your hotkeys ready when you have, you know, almost infinity time to set that up before the hand?
As the first player, there's absolutely no excuse for not having your hotkeys ready. You have the most time to prepare in the booth. You can play a quick practice match if you want to. And it's really the hotkey setup. It is the hotkey setup, and of course he gets a warning for that, and, well, he deserves it. If
Listen,
as
actually,
the first player, you don't
yeah.
get... he should get... Like, seriously, the first player, if he doesn't have his hotkeys ready, he should get 2 warnings. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, if actually, to be totally frank, if I was the first player and I, for some reason, forgot, and it was, like, revealed to everyone that it was a hotkey issue, I would be so embarrassed that it would affect my play for the rest of the game, because I would be like, oh my god, like, everybody knows that I forgot to set up my hotkeys, even though I had the most time to set them up.
The only thing that I can really come up with is that maybe the client bugs out and you have to close it down, you restart it, and it doesn't really take the hotkeys over. So, but it's actually, it's just really weird. I mean, we saw him in the booth already earlier, just preparing his gear and everything. For some reason, the hotkey is something that he did not realize. So we are going to the top right and introducing the player with his problems here, with the keyboard issues. It is, of course, for AxiomAcer.
Acer MMA.
Acer MMA, and we do not have to restart the game. We can go and jump right in. And as I mentioned before, if you compare the statistics for MMA in this matchup to the ones of Pat, he has, of course, incredible chances and highly favored here.
Oh, he loves MMA.
With a lot of fans.
A lot of people do. You're going to fight for them. Yeah. Fight for him.
Loves MMA and apparently Team Liquid as well.
Yeah, I saw the guy to his left, or I guess to his right, to my left, said you must construct additional pylons. Not in this matchup.
Yeah, not in this matchup. But as I was saying, MMA with 31 maps played against Zerg and an 83% win ratio. Recent victories against Jaedong, Vortex, Nurchio, Starbug, Yu-Gi-Oh! As well, and also against Snoot. He won against Youngju in the GSTL Season 2 this year as well. Lost against Haiva, Scarlet, and DRG on the other hand. So a great player in the matchup, very confident in his abilities to take down a Zerg player. But keep in mind that we had the recent patch as well, and that affects the Widow Mines especially.
Yeah, it certainly does. We saw just yesterday, though, if you have a lot of Widow Mines in this matchup still, the radius is reduced, yes, but they still do a lot of damage. They can kill a lot of Mutalisks if you're not careful with how you fly them.
It's just more about how the damage is actually done by a Widow Mine. So the farther away you are from the initial impact point, the less damage the units get.
Yeah.
So if you are a Zerg player and you have like a lot of Zerglings or like Banelings, it can definitely happen that you just save a few of your units. But at the same time, Widow Mines are not really bad. What basically was the idea of the developers here is that they wanted to make sure that Widow Mines are maybe used a little bit less and tanks a little bit more often, since they also reduced the fire rate of a tank. So it shoots a little bit faster right now. And that could lead us into a scenario where we have Terran players starting to mix up Widow Mines and also a couple of siege tanks.
By the way, he's pulling a Youngju here. He's actually going to be doing the same Zergling aggression on this 2-player map to try to force a lift on that command center until the first few Hellions come out. And he's doing it very quickly here.
1 Marine is not going to be enough.
No, we saw this yesterday.
If speed kicks in, this is of course a heavy commitment. You commit a lot of lava to this aggression, and that means that you cannot produce as many drones as you would like to, but at the same time you can put so much pressure on the Terran player that he's in a very uncomfortable spot where he might lose SCVs, he might lose even the bunker, because there won't be any SCVs for the repair.
No, there will not. And the wall is at least so far tight, but oh, he sees 4 lings, and for him that's actually probably going to be a pretty telltale sign that that's something a little bit weird is coming forward here. Just going to run past.
speed didn't kick in yet either, and here we go. That's not
now
enough
he can sandwich some
Zerglings.
Marines, though, if he micros correctly, and he goes for it. He gets one of them. The second one will get in the bunker, though.
Well done. That was really well done. He gets one of them. He might force a cancel here on the reactor. That would be great for him, but the SCV is already in position for the repair, and of course the add-on finishes, and now he can go for double SCV repair, even if need be. Moves down with the second one, and the only thing that the Zerglings can do now is chase those SCVs off the mineral line, but with the bunker ready and one Marine still in there, it's not a whole lot less.
He's making so many Zerglings right now. This is not just the same kind of commit we saw yesterday. It's a much bigger commitment. He's going up to, it looks like, about 25 to 30 Zerglings here.
He's smelling blood in the waters right now. He saw that and now he's trying to move in. But with a Hellion in the game, it's going to be a little bit of a problem for him. He needs to take that Hellion out, and that's exactly what he tries to do. The rest of the Zerglings already running in. And here comes Pet. He wants that victory. The SCV is repairing the bunker already. A couple of the Zerglings chasing down the Hellion. The rest of the reinforcements streaming in right now. The first SCV is already going down, but still repairing that bunker. And the Hellion with the really good micro from MMA is still alive.
And the second Hellion arrives here, and he is going to clean this up no problem, losing very few SCVs, only 3. And MMA is kind of laughing in his face here. 3 SCVs for 28 Zerglings, the larva that he used for that. I mean, he's basically saying, all right, well, now I have tech and you don't, and my economy is at a higher level than yours.
Horrible position for Pet right now. He basically did no damage whatsoever with this aggression. He didn't even kill a single Hellion. He was able to take down a worker, I think. But now he's basically on the same amount of harvesters. Never what you want to happen as a Zerg player against the Terran. He's 2 bases against 2 bases, just starting his third. The tech already coming in with the Banshee and the Cloak ability. And he lost 700 minerals, and he didn't kill anything here. For MMA, this is just so great.
Yeah, and I mean, if you consider the 700 minerals for that, plus the 700 minerals he wasn't getting from drones that we would have been mining from, it's just a terrible position for him. And now, while he's trying to drone, he's going to be dealing with army units. He's going to be dealing with tech units. He has Hellions coming right down his pipe, and he's got nothing to deal with them. If he makes more Zerglings, that means even less drones for him. He's not mining from his third base yet. He's got decent creep spread, though.
Yeah, the creep spread is good, and that will help him to catch those Hellions eventually. The Queen's, of course, helping against the Hellions as well, but the Banshee is going to become a big, big problem. And MMA is heading into that third base right now. He's starting with Stim, and he is absolutely safe.
Yeah.
Has a wall at the front. There's nothing that Pet can do right now. But Pet actually building 20 additional Zerglings, so he's staying on a pretty low economy. Has no Baneling Nest, so he can't bust through anything here, but he wants to claim map control and chase those Hellions away.
The Banshee has not been spotted. He does not know it's coming, and he also doesn't know about Cloak. With no lair here and no Spore Crawlers, Cloak is going to become a very big problem very quickly as soon as it finishes in a few seconds here, but he has to keep the Banshee alive first. He's already lost a third of the hit points there. Hellions may try to go for a run by. There's way too many Zerglings, though. It's not going to happen. And a few more Hellions just being rallied across the map. But like you said, MMA is so safe here. He's not really over-committing to this. He's just putting some pressure on. And all these Lings are only useful defensively.
MMA's micro in the last fight was really great. I mean, the defense of him was absolutely stellar. And now he's moving across the map with so many Hellions. And the Queens are already starting to lose a lot of health. One of them is down. The second one being attacked. The Hellions are going to have a field day here. Yes, there's a lot of Zerglings. But if the Hellions gets good shots off, the Zerglings will just be grilled within seconds.
Yeah. And not in that interview series either.
That is not a Thorin in there with you that we are going to see here. This is the Korean barbecue style.
Exactly. And here come the Banshees, going to continue to do damage. You saw this yesterday. Banshees, if you have 2 of them, they one-shot a drone as long as they both fire on the same target. The Queen here just outside of range of that Spore Crawler, and he's actually sending drones at the worst possible moment. He's got them rallied there, losing so many. And this is going perfectly for MMA, who has the same worker count. He's been able to maintain that this entire game. And like you said, that's never what you want as a Zerg player.
And he plays it calm and collected. Pet is just trying to stabilize here, but he is fighting against Banshees everywhere. Here come the Zerglings running and going for the surround, and MMA for a second not paying attention, and that could be his demise here. He's losing all of the Hellions. Great move by Pet, and MMA is being punished for not paying attention to his Hellions.
And then, of course, loses the Banshee for also not paying attention to that. He saves one of them down to very low hit points. He needs to raise the depots. Oh my god. You know, that's actually a smart choice that Pet made, not trying to run up there, because had MMA been paying attention, he would have easily shut it down, but he did not have those selected. He does have one hotkeyed, as you can see if you look at his hotkeys at the bottom right, so maybe that was the one.
Yeah, that was actually exactly what Pet needed here, and now looking at it, Pet is on 3 bases, MMA of course also taking his third, and the Zerg player starting to head into Spire, going into a Baneling Nest. Even the Roche Warren on the way right now. They can help him against additional Hellions. But that kind of brought him back in the game. He's still in a position where MMA was, of course, in a very comfortable spot to get all of his upgrades out, to get just the entire tech. We see him here with the double engineering bay heading into 1-1. but Pet is already on those upgrades. He's heading into +2/+2. So with all those Hellions and the Banshees lost, suddenly Pet is back to business.
Yeah, and with a cancel on the Roach Warren, it's very clear he feels that he's not going to need it. He's like, wait a minute, I already killed the Hellions, what am I worried about? Trying to kill that one Overlord. Overlord is trying to get in the safe zone, but does not work out for him. Now we're going to have a scan. A ton of creep will be cleared here, but I got to say, Pet's creep spread has been pretty impressive in this first game here, and as a result, even though he scans once, there's still so much more creep, and the creep going to the 4th is going to link that up nicely.
The 4th base has been started. What of course works in MMA's favor here is that he has a massive army supply lead over his opponent. So the tech definitely in favor of Pet, just a little bit in regards to the upgrades now. But also, if you think about the Mutalisks, we are 13 minutes into the game, so the Mutalisks are not too late, but they're definitely delayed by the Terran player. But MMA doesn't really find that opening anymore that he had earlier. He's trying to find something with those Medivacs, but the Zerglings are already in position. But Pet is still a tad behind here. He needs to he needs another small victory to really put the pressure on MMA and turn things around.
I think MMA, if he micros correctly against the Banelings, can kill this hatchery with this army. And the cancel timing here is at the last second. He's not going to have it. And with the Banshee actually controlled well and attacked those Banelings. Could have done a lot more. Now the Muser here, he has to leave, and that's a great save on the hatchery. Had he lost it, would have hurt him so much.
But we have another attack at the 3rd base. There is the drop already. 2 burrowed Widow Mines are immediately there. The Zerglings trying to rush in, and MMA already preparing another push at the 4th of his opponent. Here come the Widow Mines with their shots. A nice pickup here on those 2 Medivacs. And a few Zerglings go down, but MMA still not doing the damage that he wanted to go for. He did not kill the hatch, he did not kill too many Harvesters, but now suddenly he finds the Overlords, and that supply blocks Pet.
Yeah, looks like those Overlords are probably still on the Mutalisk rally by mistake, and 2 Overlords go down. That's really painful. MMA has already filled his supply. He's at 200 out of 200. He's got all the depots he's going to need for this game, but you know, that's more minerals that Pet will have to spend on Overlords. He wants to spend on Mutalisks. He wants to spend on some defensive structures. The creep, still stellar by him, but MMA's army is getting out of control. 40 army supply up right now.
And another Overlord en route. He takes it out immediately. Another supply block. This is really becoming a problem for Pet. He's moving in with those Zerglings now, trying to just catch those Marines, but the reinforcements for MMA are already there, and with the Stiff, they can do so much damage. The splits are there, the focus on the Banelings, and everything is gone. Only the Mutalisks survive, and they are chased away immediately. Another Overlord on his way to death. This is not looking good for Pet, not at all.
This may end up being game. The splits here are, dare I say it, perfect against the Banelings, and that's going to be all she wrote. Mutalisks cannot fight this army. Even though it's a small count of Marines, there's just too much firepower. More Marines rallied in here. And as we saw, Widow Mines, yeah, they got nerfed, but they're still damn good, and they killed that huge clump of Banelings.
Pet's Overlords are like lemmings trying to throw themselves off a cliff. They always rally into the Marines, and they all die. They have a death wish here. Emo Lords everywhere looking for trouble, and MMA is happy to deliver. The reinforcements moving in again. For now, he's actually pushed back, and a few of those Medivacs will go down. Pet is trying whatever he can to hold, and the supply is even at this point. MMA overextending himself a little bit.
Yeah, way too much here. The Mutalisks actually narrowly escaped death from some of the Widow Mines. These Widow Mines do not appear to be detected on the other hand, so it could be bad luck. We'll see. Oh, so close. He barely saves some of those Mutalisks, but they're actually all low on hit points. He's going to need some time to regenerate.
You know, it was actually pretty impressive with the second attack that Pet was able to just throw MMA back there. The connects that he had were really good, and now he's on the same supply. He actually takes a small supply lead against his opponent. Problematic is that MMA heads into the +3 attack upgrade already, and the +3 armor should follow soon. So over time, this will give him a huge edge. But still, 4 bases against a Terran on 3.
Yeah. And I gotta say, the situation for MMA looked like he had won the game, and I think he thought that way as well. And Pet, he kept fighting. He was the frog with the stork, that famous picture on the internet where the frog's trying to choke the stork.
Never yield, never surrender, and that's exactly what Pet is doing here. And MMA, I completely agree with you. I think he thought the game was already won when he took out all of the Zerglings and the Mutalisks retreated. But then the second wave cleared out his own army, and now he still has to put in a lot of effort to take down his opponent. Yeah. Especially since we now even see this attack for Pet. He goes straight into the infestation pit.
And I gotta say, the map awareness for Pet is excellent. Some of his overlords Overlords were definitely misrallied this game, but on the other hand, the Overlords that he does have all over the map are spotting drops. He's sending his Mulas, his Lings over instantly to clear this up.
Think about the statistics that I quoted earlier. MMA with an 80% win ratio with 31 maps played, Pet with 50 with just 8 maps played. This is not really what you would expect this game when I quote statistics like that. Pet is doing a great job here, especially if you give his really bad start into the game. And now the Mutalisks are becoming a big issue. There are so many Mutalisks already in the match that missile turrets are just not going to cut it anymore. And we even have the armor upgrade nearly completed, so they can fight against turrets without a problem, even against slow marine numbers. They are becoming a huge problem for the Terran player.
Oh, and actually, he may actually catch this MMA army. There's no way to run with this many Mutalisks. Looks like he's not going to be able to do it. He does come in and try to pick off a Marine here, and here come those Zerglings. The Widow Mines are burrowed. Beautiful splits against them on the other hand. He does get some hits off on the Mutas, but he actually could have caught those Medivacs had he microed a little bit better, but as it is, a few of those units for MMA get away, and he is continuing the attack. The creep spread continuing to slow him down as well. I'm really actually quite impressed with Pet's creep spread in this game. He's always got it continuing to go forward. It's always halfway across the map.
One of the things that we definitely have to mention again is that the Widow Mine damage was changed. It helped the Mutalisks earlier on a lot. And here we go, the Banelings moving in. We have the Mutalisks just cleaning house here and chasing the opponent away. MMA still with the lead in the army supply, but he cannot fight this. There's just so much. The Widow Mine's doing what they can, but there's so many Mutalisks that just take down Marine after Marine. The Thor finally coming into the picture, but I don't think that he can get the shots off that he needs.
Yeah, he needed like 1 or 2 more shots there to connect. He did not get him. This Widow Mine shot going to do a little bit. This one might get 3 Banes.
Yeah, 2. Gets 2 of them. And you know, this is one of the good examples that we have in the old patch that would have definitely hit a lot more. So MMA relying heavily on the Widow Mines here and is being punished for it a little bit, but also taking engagements that are very questionable.
Yeah.
But he is still ahead in army supply, and he is now on 3 attack upgrades and heading into the 3rd armor upgrade. For Pet, it will take a long time to get on the 3-3.
Really good targeting on the Mutalisks by MMA here. He's just whittling them down, and this time he will get the last of them.
He clusters too much. When you target with Mutalisks and you right-click, then you cluster too much, and the Thor is, of course, taking that chance and gets his area of effect damage off. You need to magic box the Thor, or at least take him down with Zerglings if you want to do that. Now that Pet lost this many Mutalisks, I think he lost his edge that he had. That was the one tool at his disposal where he could really do something against MMA, and now the Mutalist numbers are down to 5, and therefore the mobility gone, relying heavily on Zerglings. I think it was a huge mistake fighting with the Mutalist as he did and losing so many of them.
He's going to lose a Queen here as well. That one Thor always at the best spot at the far away angle where you can get the shots off but also be protected by the Marines so he doesn't get surrounded. Knows that spot just so perfect right on the high ground here. This time a few Zerglings do connect with the Marines. He gets a bit of a surround there, but it doesn't matter because the base is gone. And now MMA knows his next target. His next target is the base to the top left. If he can take that one out, he really severely limits his opponent's income. He has now a 4th base secured and a 5th command center ready to move at his command.
He even has that planetary set up right next to the sensor tower so that he has this double protection. He sees everything that's walking towards him, and the planetary helps him out quite a bit. The Mutalist numbers are increasing, but I feel it's already a little bit too late for him. 70 army supply against 130, and MMA, he is fed up with this. He's saying like, no, you're not going to win this game, but oh, he needs to split better than that.
Yeah, he needs a lot better than that. So many of his units being taken out, but it's just not enough.
These Overlords, the waypoint is becoming such a massive problem.
What Creator is to Observers, Pet is to Overlords. That one Thor is still there.
At least 15 Overlords in this game because of a bad rally.
Yeah, it's definitely like starting to cost him. And he tries to target some of these Medivacs down, tries to bait one of the Widow Mine shots at them. It's just not enough. The hatcheries in the main base starting to go down. He loses the macro hatch. And, I mean, MMA is in his main base now, and that's going to be game.
And the overall supply doesn't tell the real story here, since we see this many harvesters for Pet. He had 80 drones at some point, and now we have 120 army supply against 40. This is definitely a game. Here's the GG, and MMA takes game.